I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, April the 11th, where the bull has reappeared here this week with the board continuing to go up after an impressive late week last week and starting this week out strong. And your cash markets on your feeder cattle are looking good. Even though that fat cattle market, it established itself better than what we kind of thought, but when the dust all settled, it was a little bit disappointing, but we'll talk about that. Your real-time index based on 800-pound feeder steer there on Beef Market Central late on Monday afternoon, it was steady, up 3 cents actually at 131.18 from where it closed last week at 131.15. So, and we've worked through a lot of cattle through Monday there, so holding real strong, and the markets on a trend were higher. You look at the board, live cattle futures were all higher. April was up over $1 as just like we figured it's going to have to race a little bit to catch up to get balanced out with cash here by the time it matures. But it's at 121.10 for Monday's close. The other out fronts were up 50 to 60, so that's a good showing too. Feeder cattle, most of the nearby months were up about $1.50. Some of your late fall feeder contracts were up over $2, so that's looking strong too. The results from last week's abbreviated fat cattle trade come out. Just 51,300 head in the 5-area feeding region, which is about half what we kind of got used to. So that shows these cattle feeders really dug in. These packers will have to come out earlier this week and buy some cattle. They pulled a lot of their contracts and their captive supplies last week, so this week they'll have to come out and start buying some cattle, probably to finish up this week's kill. But the market established itself Friday evening, late Friday, 126, 127. That 127 was most prevalent in the north and west there. But when we got all done on such a short kill there, all those sales earlier in the week, maybe just a deal here and a deal there, and maybe for 2 or 3 week delivery, they all worked on that average. And your steers on a live basis, the weighted average was only 124.33, so that's pretty disappointing. And then you show the disparage there, your heifer live weighted average was 125.38. So just a really uneven market there on a little deal here and a little deal there. Or your steers averaged on a dress basis 198 and your heifers 199. But that's what a lot of these guys that are on selling off the averages are going to get paid off of, is on that weighted average. They're not going to get the better the direct trade that the guys that are haggling out there and selling these cattle negotiated every week are going to get. But we'd heard talk on Monday there that after Trump had the president of China come in, I know most all the cattle people were pro-Trump and thinking that he could do some things to help us out in the trade. Well, it looks like he's done it both on meat products and also grain products going to China. Looks like that's going to be a little friendlier trade deal, and could mean that we'll start shipping some significant product of beef over to China before too long at all. Oklahoma City on Monday at 8,350 head. Feeders there $3 to $5 higher. They really responded well to that. Calves $3 to $6 higher on a lighter test, but you know, we talked last week, most of your guys, your big grazers, have already secured your cattle. It's mostly just smaller orders coming in, guys picking around for a few lighter cattle to turn out. Joplin had 5,000 head on Monday. Feeders steady to $3 higher and calves mostly steady. That's your feeder flash for Tuesday.